Hi there, I'm genetically modified, fill in the blank, whatever you want me to be, and I'm delicious. Don't you want to eat me? I'm just so yummy. And I don't get weeds because I'm full of pesticides. Yum, yum, yum. Aren't I delicious? Well, that's full of crap. Who wants to eat that garbage? Are you kidding me? You got to be kidding me. They're trying to hide what's in their products by giving them these names that we may not recognize. Oh, but that is horrible. We don't want any of that, do we? You're darn tootin' we don't. I shouldn't say darn, actually. I'm talking on the video. Okay. Well, this is the Rawesome Vegan Gal, and I just did a little spoof to talk to you about GMOs, because that's a very important subject, and I wanted you to know that I am wholeheartedly 100%, without a doubt, against GMOs. What do GMOs stand for? Genetically modified organisms. So just think about it. If you love tomatoes, but someone decided to inject with a needle, like when you go to a doctor, inject some gene in there that you're allergic to, and then you wanted to eat that tomato, but you didn't know it had that gene in it, and you ate that tomato, and it could cause you to die. I mean, some people have such fatal reactions to things they're allergic to, and it's too late by then, and then you have no clue. You're like, a tomato? That's crazy. But then when they would go and investigate, they'd find out that there's a gene in there, let's say for peanuts, and you're allergic to peanuts, fatally allergic to it. And then they're like, wow, okay, so the problem is that you don't want to buy genetically modified foods. It's so important, and there's a great guide called NoGMO Shopping Guide, and I will give you the link underneath, and you can also go to the iPhone App Store and look for Shop No GMOs, and you can get a guide. And this is a great little guide. Here it is, No GMO Shopping Guide. And in there it talks about all different products that are actually certified GMO. For example, I have one right here from Nutiva. It's their chia seeds. So you see the little label on there that says non-GMO certified. And you also want to look for the USDA organic. See, this product is USDA organic. I also have this product. Here is USDA organic. Here's another product, USDA organic. Here's another product, USDA organic. Here's another product, USDA organic. And this one as well, USDA organic. So that's something very important. Even though I don't love the USDA, they are very astute in doing that, where everything is organic, certified, that's proven to be organic based on their ingredients. So you want to be aware of that. Now, in case you didn't know what the problem is with genetically modified, they've done several studies, animal studies especially, to show that they cause infertility, immune problems, accelerate aging. They have changes in major organs and gastrointestinal system. And also some of their brochures. This is from the product responsibletechnology.org, from that website. And again, I will put some links below. And they have a great information here about what happens to the animals. So they've also done many studies to show that if you put two types of grains or feed for the animal, one next to each other, one's GMO, one's non-GMO, even if it's not organic, but it's non-GMO, the animals will naturally go to the non-GMO feed. They're so instinctual. They know what is good, as opposed to most human beings who don't follow that way of living because they're not instinctual in that way. But the animals will do that. And they also have in different movies that I've watched, one is Genetic Roulette, and I believe you can get that on the internet, where they show pictures before and after of the animal, what they look like after they eat the GMO feed, and then when they take them off, their body reverts back to naturally the way they were. Same thing with children. Children have had like autism and other types of problems with allergies because they're eating GMO foods, and when they get off the GMO foods, whatever they have just magically seems to disappear. it's not magic. It's nature. It's what you're putting in your body is what you're getting out. So you want to be aware of that, and especially for little children, babies. Like here is protect your children, because your children are very much affected by this. They become guinea pigs, and their immune systems aren't as strong as adults are. So they're going to be affected by that. So you want to be really aware of these issues, and you should definitely look at the companies that are sponsoring. You can see these are companies that believe in not in using genetically modified, so I want you to see that. And you can definitely see some of this online. So there are companies who do support them. Unfortunately, in California, they tried to pass a bill to label GMOs, and unfortunately it was defeated by a very low margin. But it sets a precedence that people want it. People have come out like in large percentages when they've done any kind of surveys to show that people want their food to be labeled. Because it's funny, the government is so not ashamed or afraid to use GMOs, but they don't want it to be labeled. So that makes no sense, because they're proud of their product. Why don't you label it then? You know, because you know that it actually isn't good for us. And it can be quite harmful, and we might not know very soon how it's affecting us, how it's affecting the planet as well. Like it could sit in your body for years and not show up as anything. So you have to be careful, especially with any corn products, any soy products. There are a lot of hidden names that they use for their genetically modified things that they use in the product. So you have to be really careful. Soy oil, soy flour, you know, things like corn oil, corn syrup. You know, there's so many different kinds of things that it could be in. Maltodextrin. There's so many issues. So make sure you check out the non-GMO shopping guide and really do your research. And when you go shopping, take a look at the labels on your packages. Take a look at the ingredients. Take a look at whether the product is certified organic, like I showed you here. Certified organic and non-GMO project verified. So you want to look for those things. And if they're not, then call the company up. Don't buy the product. Write down the number, the website. Look it up. Do your research. Don't add those chemicals into your body when you don't have to. There's enough that we can't control in the environment, but we can have try to have some control over our food. And of course, we know the law of supply and demand. If you decide not to buy something and the store doesn't sell the product, they're not going to carry it anymore. And if it's something that's not healthy for us, then that makes sense. So if you keep demanding from your stores to carry non-GMO products, like I want products that are certified organic, I want products that are non-GMO certified. So that's going to make a difference. They'll have to start listening, and the changes will be made. And there's a lot more documentaries coming out. I believe this one that was called GMO OMG, which is kind of cool. You can look that up online. I'm not sure of the site for that one. But you have to really study up on this, read up on it, go to places where you're going to find the right information, not this horrible information that the genetically modified companies are trying to make you believe that food's going to cost more and all this other nonsense, because it really isn't. You know, I'm here to tell you that that's not true at all, because guess what? What is it, like 60 countries or something in Europe already have labeling required on all their products if they're genetically modified or organisms or genetically engineered. So it just shows you, and there's never been a uproar from the public to say that the prices have gone up because you decided to label the product. So that's not true. That's a misnomer, and it's falsification by the big GMO corporations and big agri and big pharma, and they're all trying to push with their greed and everything and their power. And we have to stand up for our rights. We have to definitely check out all the sites on this. Go to any websites that talk about labeling GMOs and getting it passed. And it should be throughout the United States. We're so lagging behind in Europe, it makes no sense. They're all laughing at us. Like, we're supposed to be, you know, the land of the free, the home of the brave, or some other nonsense like that. But, you know, we can speak about this, but nothing's getting done because those that are in the high power don't want it to happen. They don't want us to be healthy. They want us to just kind of muddle through and just be controlled by them. And when we put these foods into our body, we are being controlled by them because they have chemical substances and they mess with our brain, not just our body. And we don't want that. We don't want to be addicted to all these chemically laden pesticide, herbicide, fungicide, larvicide, and every other kind of side that you could think of in our food. So please check this out. It's a very important issue. You know, GMOs do not belong anywhere in our body, in the environment. They're affecting everything. They drift from one piece of land to another from the wind. So your crops can be affected even if you don't use genetically modified seed, and then you can get sued by them, by Monsanto and all these other people. So it's just becoming a whirlwind, no pun intended, problem in this world. So we need to stop it before it gets any worse and really put our foot down and make sure that it gets labeled, because once it gets labeled, things will change. They're going to have to back down on pushing more and more products to be GMO, you know, enhanced, because people are not going to want it and they're not going to sell the products. So we need to do that. It's very important. So please definitely go ahead and do your research, find out more about GMOs and why they're bad for us, and you'll see people have had amazing results when they get off foods that are made from all those processed products. Thanks for watching. It's the Awesome Vegan Gal.